Democrats and other critics of President Trump are urging former Starbucks chairman and CEO Howard Schultz to reconsider his potential plans for 2020. Schultz announced Sunday on 60 Minutes that he is seriously considering an independent run for president. In response, former New York City mayor and potential Democratic candidate Michael Bloomberg issued a blunt statement saying in 2020, the great likelihood is that an independent would just split the anti-Trump vote and end up re-electing the president. That's a risk I refused to run in 2016, and we can't afford to run it now. At an event for his new book last night, Schultz faced hecklers criticizing his potential run.
I am seriously considering running for president as a centrist independent. And I wanted to clarify the word independent, which I view merely as a designation on the ballot.
Don't help elect Trump, you egotistical billionaire.
Schultz's book is called From the Ground Up, A Journey to Reimagine the Promise of America. And Howard Schultz is joining us at the table this morning. Good to see you. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
It's safe to say that the response to even a potential run as an independent has not been muted. What have you learned in the past 48 hours? Have you changed your mind in any way, shape, or form?
Well, I must be doing something right to garner this much attention and this much interest. But let's look at the facts. The country and the American people are longing for and deserve leadership that they can trust and a government that is working for them. That clearly has not been the case. And what I have offered the American people is simply an opportunity to hear my story and to provide an opportunity for the American people to say, we don't have to have two parties. There can be another choice. And in doing so, all 50 states, not just battleground states, can matter for the first time.
It seems like you have a hurdle, which is that there was a recent Marist poll that said 57% of the country would like to vote for somebody other than Donald Trump.
Yes.
Before they can hear the argument you just tried to make, they want to get over that hurdle, which is to say not have Donald Trump. They see you as an impediment to that, not as a furtherance of it.
But I think it's a false narrative because I think Republicans are looking for a home. And if Republicans have a choice between a far left, liberal, progressive candidate on the Democratic side or President Trump is going to get reelected. If I can get in the race and I only need 15% to be on the debate stage, I will provide the Republicans with a choice that they do not have. In addition to that, I think we have a situation which we must agree with. I mean, every American is looking at the fact that we have such toxicity. You're going to have Senator Flake on in a little while. Talk to him about what it's like to be a centrist person and trying to govern from the middle. It's impossible.
Howard, you compared Democrats' proposal to universal health care akin to a border wall in 60 Minutes. Is that what you mean?
Well, you just played Senator Harris as saying she wants to abolish the insurance industry. That's not correct. That's not American. What's next? What industry are we going to abolish next? The coffee industry? I mean, the Republicans want to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. I don't agree with that. The Affordable Care Act should stay and it should be refined. But to think we should get rid of the insurance industry, again, this is exactly the situation. It's far too extremes on both sides, and the silent majority of America does not have a voice, and that's the voice I want to give.
If you have a winning message,
Yeah.
why not have that debate within the Democratic Party, of which you were a member up until recently?
Because I would have to be disingenuous to try and run as a Democrat. There are millions of people in the country who no longer affiliate themselves with a Democrat or a Republican. And here's the facts. 42% of the American people today designate themselves as a independent person. 30% are registered and 12% affiliate. That's more than Republicans or Democrats. Let's give them an opportunity.
One of the motivations for your running is addressing the national debt.
Yes.
We're seeing more and more economists, including the former chief economist of the IMF, recently say that it's not a catastrophe, that we can deal with high debt. Why are they wrong? Why is this such a priority for you?
Well, it's immoral for both Democrats and Republicans who have piled up $21.5 trillion of debt, and now the Democrats want to suggest programs that tally up to $40 trillion. What's immoral is that debt is going to be on the burden of our children and our grandchildren.
Even if it's used for good causes?
Well, there's no good cause. The country cannot afford to have $21.5 trillion of debt on its balance sheet when we need to reinvest in an education system, a healthcare system, create jobs, fix immigration. And the fact is, the government is not providing common sense solutions for the majority of Americans.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Somebody says, boy, he's gotten a tough reception. The guy next to him says, or a woman next to him says, yes, but this is Howard Schultz's big idea, which is what?
The big idea is very simple: to unite the country, for us to come together, to do everything we can to realize that the promise of America is for everyone.
But every politician's going to say that.
Yeah, but no politician on the Republican and Democratic side can do it because both parties are involved every single day in revenge politics. And can you imagine what powerful signal it would send to the Congress and to the country if for the first time since George Washington, an independent person could be elected president?
Howard, you know that the president is not elected by popular vote.
Yes.
It's an electoral college.
Yes.
You know the last independent who won an electoral college vote was? George Wallace.
Yeah.
In 1968. The system is stacked against anybody trying to run as an independent. What state could you get electoral votes from in a winner-take-all primaries?
Not only is it stacked, but the Republican, the DNC and the RNC do everything humanly possible to prevent an independent person from running. That's un-American. That's not right. But
You can't beat the system, can you?
Well, I think I can beat the system if I decide to run. We will be on the ballot in every state, all 50 states. And this is so vitally important. In the last presidential elections, the only thing that mattered was about 8 states, battleground states, that defined the race. If I enter the race, I'll be on the ballot of every state, and all 50 states, everyone's vote, everyone's voice would matter. It would be a 50-state race, and I would be on the ballot, on the debate stage with only 15% polling.
All right.
We can get to 270.
We're going to have to end our race here, but thanks so much
That's
for
it?
being with us. Come back when you announce.
The book is
Thanks,
great,
Howard.
and you tell a lot of stories about growing up, of course, in the projects in
Right.
Brooklyn. It's a great story about how you built a company from the ground up.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
Quickly.
Don't the American people deserve more than what we have right now?
We'll end it there. Thank you, Howard Schultz. From the
you.
Ground Up is on sale now.